So Tennessee, Mississippi State. Mississippi State is sitting at 4-0. The first time they've been 4-0 since I want to say 2014. Dan Mullen was the head coach there. Shockingly enough, they were able to get a new head coach within the last couple years and put together wins.
So petty.
Start 4-0. A 4-0 is a very difficult. 3-0 is hard too. 2-0 is even hard for some programs. But 4-0 is incredibly impressive. Tennessee lost that heartbreaker to Georgia. They really were maybe the better team throughout that game. Kirby Smart, like I said, there's nobody that I would take on game day that is actively coaching over Kirby Smart just consistently. But they need some SEC wins, right? They got their heart stomped on. This is a game that in the summer you would have circled and said is an easy win. Not so fast, my friend. What matchups are you watching in this one, Will?
I mean, I'm looking at Mississippi State's defense, right? And can they limit Tennessee's explosive passing game? Because they have a good success rate in passing downs. Does Mississippi State's defense a good havoc rate in their secondary and a good points per opportunity allowed? Now, Georgia also had very similar metrics in that when they went and played Tennessee, and Tennessee dropped 40 on them. Even the losing effort, but they still played really, really good. But Tennessee's offense obviously grades out very well. Aguilar is going to have those explosive plays. He's going to put up good numbers. Does he also throw one or two away like he did against Georgia? Because that's my biggest worry with him is, sure, he'll throw for 320. Does he also have two picks mixed in there that Mississippi State is able to capitalize on? And just going back to when Arizona State went to Starkville, they held Sam Levitt to below 50% passing, only 82 yards and 2 picks. They dealt with a great power running game, but because of what they were able to do to Arizona State in the air, they were able to win that game. Now, Tennessee's offense is a notch above Arizona State talent-wise, obviously, but they're same styles and makeup where they have a power rushing attack to try and set up explosive passing plays. Mississippi State has already stopped an offense who wants to do that. Now, can they do it with a level up of an offense from a talent profile and try and keep themselves in this game?
TJ, Tennessee has some injuries in the secondary. That'll be something that we watch as well. But this game is in Neyland Stadium. That is a huge home field advantage. It feels like everything needs to go right.
No. Is it?
Is it? Oh, it's in
I think it's on the road. It's on the road. So this is Cowbell City.
Okay, well, clearly everything I looked up this morning was incorrect because this is the second time. Perfect. Starkville. That's great for Mississippi State. But the point remains is that the matchup is that Mississippi State's going to have to play very good football to have a shot in this one. But is there a possibility of Tennessee looking ahead? Like, could this be a trap game, or because Mississippi State's 4-0, that's not going to happen? They are now awake and paying attention to this opponent.
Yeah, I don't think they'll look ahead. At least I would hope that they don't, considering what happened last year on the road at Arkansas, coming off a big win. And I do think that maybe losing to Georgia maybe refocuses you a little bit and understanding how good you were and how close you were in that game. I don't think they'll look ahead. I think they'll take it seriously. And the fact that they're 4-0, what are they? Are they just barely ranked? Are they right outside the top 25 like others receiving votes? I think they're, one of those two. So nearly a ranked matchup. To me, no, I don't think they'll look ahead. I think they'll be pretty locked in. But I'll tell you, their wide receivers need to go make and Joey was good for most of the game. Their wide receivers made some spectacular plays in that game against Georgia that had they not made them, Georgia wouldn't have really needed to come back. Like there were some kind of highlight type plays that it's easy. I don't want to say it's easier to do that maybe at home. It's easier to do that when you're up for a big game. Are his wide receivers going to bail him out on the road in Starkville? If they do, then they'll probably win this game comfortably going away. But if they don't, this could be a little bit closer if Tennessee's not able to just kind of get that down and, just kind of the normal type plays, the regular type non-highlight plays. That's where I think that this game could kind of get out of control or out of hand if you're Mississippi State. But and that's more of like what Tennessee's able to do because they're athletes and they are really good. So that is something that I'm looking for. I know that's not really what your question was, but something I thought of within doing this is Tennessee kind of saved themselves a couple of times by doing some things that were ridiculous offensively. If they don't have that same kind of output of just, going up and mossing guys, this game could be a lot closer than I think Vols fans want it to be.
Mississippi State is just outside the top 25. I looked that up. Will, are they the best not ranked 4-0 team in college football?
I think they're definitely one of them. I mean, they have a good case to be ranked, obviously, because of the AP poll just clearly only factoring in preseason expectations they're not going to be. But I think they definitely could be because I'm looking at Blake Shapen. I think I rated him as my worst SEC quarterback over the summer. Totally wrong. Totally wrong. This passing offense has looked pretty good. And going up against a Tennessee
My bet
secondary
might
who's
be my worst.
but going up against a Tennessee secondary who's still beat up, because I don't think we know the status yet of Ricky Gibson or Jermod McCoy, the two starting corners. Like UAB last week in Neyland threw the ball around. Jalen Kitna, familiar name for Florida fans, like had over 300 yards throwing against this Tennessee secondary. So with Mississippi State looking as good as they have passing the ball, like they could throw around Tennessee too. And then being at home, like there's a lot of potential for Mississippi State to be able to throw the ball around a lot.
TJ, I've asked Will first on our other picks, so I'm going to give you the floor right now. What is your prediction for the Tennessee Mississippi State game?
Yeah, I think they're an 8.5-point favorite on the road right now. I do think they cover that. I would love to see. I like upsets. I like exciting stuff, but I would struggle to see Mississippi State without Tennessee kind of handing them this game. I'd struggle to see them getting it done. I'll go 30-20. Tennessee beats Mississippi State.
All right, Will, what you got?
I like Mississippi State a lot. They're a great story. I don't think they're this good, and I don't see Tennessee starting off 0-2 in conference. I respect State enough to cover this 8.5 at home. The line's already down to 7.5, even though I think like 90% of slips are on Tennessee. So I do think Mississippi State will be able to cover this. I got 38-31 Tennessee, high scoring game. Tennessee's firepower is just a little too much for the Bulldogs.
All right, well, I have 31-24 Tennessee as well. So we shall see.